Hi everyone, welcome to today's video in which we are going to be trying out not a brand new foundation, but a very well-known viral foundation, and that is Il Makiage. Ever since I started my YouTube channel, I knew that at some point I wanted to try out this foundation. Back when I was an avid user of Instagram, it's the only foundation that I would ever see online, and I was always very intrigued by it and how they think by taking a quiz can match me to my absolute perfect foundation match. Well, today we're going to find out whether that is actually true or not. So today we're going to be looking at my first impressions of this foundation, but I'm actually going to be testing it out over the next week, and then I'm going to be bringing you my final thoughts after fully putting this foundation to the test. So if you are interested in seeing whether Il Makiage is actually worth the hype, then please do keep on watching. So I wanted us to go through this whole experience together from start to finish. So today is going to be my unboxing of my Il Makiage. So I purchased this with my own money. It was not gifted to me. I went on to the website and I did the quiz. Now, I am going to say, this was a lot more expensive than what I thought it was going to be. So the cost of the foundation was $53.95, which was for the foundation and postage and packaging. It's a very expensive foundation, but it became even more expensive because I was actually charged customs charges on top of that. Now, from what I can gather and what it says on the website, that you shouldn't be charged customs charges for it. Now, I'm in Ireland and it says that it's shipped from the UK. I got charged on top of the $53.95, I got charged an extra $13.35. which brings the total of this foundation to €67.30. I think it's safe to say that Il Makiage are not quite as popular as they used to be. I think there is just good foundations out there. It's very hard to make a bad foundation these days. And as I said, this is very, very expensive, more expensive than I would usually pay for a foundation. But the one thing that they do offer, which I think is quite attractive, they offer returns and exchanges if your colour match is not correct. So I think that is a real plus point, especially if you live over this side of the world, Ireland, England. We cannot return makeup like our American counterparts. You are so lucky. You get to return your makeup if it's not appropriate, if you don't like it, if it's wrong. We don't get that luxury. We have to get what we're given. So I can see why this would attract people. So their foundation is called Woke Up Like This, which to me infers that it's a very natural foundation. I'm really hoping so. But anyway, you go onto their website and you take their quiz. Now you can actually just go on and buy your shade, but I don't know if they offer returns for that. I don't know actually what their stance is on that. But there's a quiz to take online. So I screen recorded my quiz. So it starts by asking what your skin type is. So then it asks what type of coverage you like. Made me think that they were actually creating a foundation just for me. So then you get to the picture quiz, where you choose a picture of which model basically resembles your skin tone, and there's quite a few options. And then there's some questions on your undertones, whether you think you're neutral, cool or warm. But then it asks how I like to apply my foundation, and then they ask about how I prep my skin, and then they ask about my current brand, what my current brand is. And I'm wondering, are they asking these questions about skin prep and how you apply? Because if I attempt to return this, are they going to suggest something different to what I actually normally do? It's probably marketing, I would imagine. So then you pop in your email address and then they will send you what your shade match is. But mine came up as shade 60. And also I qualified for a mystery gift, which is great. It comes in 50 shades, which is great, by the way, really good shade range. A tick there when it says that it has a lightweight texture, but it says it has a medium buildable to high coverage and a natural matte finish. I do prefer a more natural finish, but I prefer it to be luminous, radiant, dewy. However, having said that, there have been soft matte foundations that I've absolutely loved. So it says that it's paraben-free, oil-free, 100% cruelty-free, contains vitamin E and hyaluronic acid. Anyway, we are going to open this up together. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm a little bit nervous, especially because it's so expensive, but let's have a look. Okay, so in the box, I have the foundation and I have a free gift here, which is a waterproof liquid eyeliner. I'm not going to use that today. I've already done my eyes, as you can see. We're not looking at that today, but thank you for the free gift. Always like free things. I've just popped my hair out of the way for this, and we're going to open this together. So as I said, this is the shade 60, and I have no makeup on my actual face. I have my eyes done, as you can see, and I have my brows done, but that's it. The only thing that I have on my skin right now is my Charlotte Tilbury moisturizer, and I always use that as a primer, so I'm not going to do anything different to what I normally would. This is the box, and that's a cute little box actually, isn't it? Looking at it from here, that's looking promising. All of my important skin information is down in the description box, but just for your reference, I'm an olive, but I have very muted warm undertones, so muted that I always go neutral unless there is an olive shade. So here we go. I am going to start off with a brush and see how we go. So we'll give it a shake. 1.5 pumps. Oh, and it's quite runny. Okay. That shade looks good, actually. It does have a bit of fragrance. It smells like skincare. So I don't mind it at the minute, but I might feel differently once it's actually on my face. So I'm just going to apply on this side with my BK Beauty 101 brush, because this is my trusty brush. Okay, I'm actually liking the look of that shade, but we'll see how it is when it goes on. And I'm not going to bring this up underneath my eyes because the only thing I ever put under my eyes is concealer. That's taken up the whole of those 1.5 pumps. Okay, so that is an absolutely perfect colour match. It actually looks like skin. Let me just put a little more on. I don't know why, I expected it to be really heavy. That is very lightweight. This is the side with, and this is without. Okay, so it's definitely evened out my skin tone. It's a perfect colour match. It looks very natural. However, I'm just going to say it's sitting a bit heavy here. Can you see there? Don't know if it's picking up on camera. It's emphasising a few pores around here. I was going to use a sponge on the other side, but I actually think I'm just going to go in with a different type of brush and kind of buff it in. So I'm going to go in with my Refa 37 and I'm just going to pump onto the back of my hand again. So I'm just going to saturate my brush and then just buff. Yeah, there's definitely fragrance, and you know, it's reminding me of, it smells like Chanel Vitalumia. If you've ever smelt that, you will know what I mean. I don't think they need the fragrance in there, do they? Okay, so that's pretty much applied the same. I mean, it's not blowing me away. I mean, the colour match has. I will say that. Just going to go around my neck and my eyebrows and just clean it up a bit. All right, so this is the full application. Obviously, I've got no concealer on or anything yet. I don't know whether it's now looking a little bit yellow. I don't think it's oxidizing, but I'm not used to having a soft matte finish. I don't mind it, but sometimes with soft matte foundations, they do allow your base to kind of shine through. I'm not feeling very luminous at the minute. There might be some glow because of the lights. So this is how it's looking. But I'm noticing a little bit of settling around here, and I think that if I added any more, it could get cakey and messy. Let me just throw on some concealer, bronzer and blush, and then I'll be back and we'll see how it's looking. I'm back. I just popped on some contour, the Westman Atelier contour stick. I popped on some Rare Beauty blush and some concealer, the NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer, and obviously some lipstick. I haven't set my face, I set my nose because I have to set my nose just with my Florasis powder. And I have to say that I think the foundation is looking really, really nice. So obviously I've used more glowy type products because I have to have some sort of radiance. I will say that just kind of around my smile lines, I don't know if you can see, there is a marginal bit of settling, which I wouldn't ordinarily get with a super hydrating foundation. This feels lightweight, but it doesn't feel hydrating. They're the issues that I would say is looking a little bit heavy around the smile lines and just in this area. It's looking a little bit heavier than what I'm used to. It's not looking cakey, but it's definitely looking heavier than normal. So I think I forgot to say it before, but my skin type, because obviously we're going to do a wear test and we're going to be testing it for the week. My skin type is very normal, but it's kind of normal to dry. I do get an oily T-zone like a lot of people. I think that's quite normal. So I'm not going to use powder on the rest of my face. I've used my Givenchy under my eyes, but what I think I'm going to do today, I'm going to spray half of my face with my new favorite setting spray. This is the E.L.F. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. Love this. I'm really obsessed with this at the minute. So I think I'm going to spray one half of my face and then I'm going to come back later tonight and we'll see how it's faring. Let's go with the left-hand side to spray. In terms of the colour match, I think it's pretty great. I do think it is a little bit on the yellow side. I'm not sure if that's coming across, but I think I can get away with it. As I said, muted warm undertones, I can get away with foundations being a teeny bit yellow. So I'm going to go and I'm going to wear it for the day today. It's a bit later today. It's 10:52 a.m, but I'll come back tonight, maybe at about 7:30. I won't touch my face and we'll see how it's performing across the day. I will take you out also and do a quick daylight check-in so that you can see it. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. This is a 6-hour check-in, so I just thought I'd show you a little update. I'm looking a little bit shiny actually in the T-zone. It's really warm here in Ireland, so that is kind of to be expected, but I don't mind it. This is the side with the setting spray, which did make it a little bit more dewy anyway. And this is the side without, and as you can see around my nose, and you can see that it's starting to come away there around by my nose. And the only bit that I would actually have an issue with this foundation, can you see quite close up there? It's kind of settling into some lines there, which is no big deal. If there's lines there, foundation is going to sit into it. I'm going to do a check-in this evening, maybe in about 4 hours or so, just so you can see how it is with a full day wear test. So far so good. I'll see you later on for the final check-in. We're back and it's the end of the first day of testing out this Il Makiage foundation. The time is now, I'm up a little bit early, it's now 20 to 7. So I've had this foundation on for nearly 8 hours and I'm pretty happy with how this foundation has performed. I feel like I need to get it off now because I've had a really, really sweaty day. I have really put this foundation to the test today. It's been so warm here and I have not topped up my face at all. So let's have a look. How has this performed? So I didn't powder my face. I just powdered my nose and under my eyes. I think the foundation has performed really, really well. So this was the side that had no setting spray, and this is the side that did. I don't really think there's a difference between the two, to be honest. I'm not a massively oily person, but I have been quite warm, quite sweaty today, so I feel like the foundation has broken down in certain areas that I would expect. So kind of around the nose area, as I did show you in the daytime check-in, kind of my forehead. I am really happy with how it's performed. I am going to go ahead now and I'm going to wear this for the next, I'd say 5 to 7 days. I'll know when my test has come to a natural conclusion. My first impressions, it's not really a foundation that I can see myself reaching for on a daily basis. I do prefer my foundations to be a little bit more on the luminous side, a little bit more dewy than what it is. I think within the next few days, I'm definitely going to experiment with building up the coverage and using a few more pumps to see how it performs. So the next time I'll see you will be in about 5 to 7 days, and I will then give you my true honest opinions, my thoughts and feelings on whether this foundation is worth your hard-earned money. So I'll see you in a few days. We are back and our week of wear testing the Il Makiage foundation is complete. I started to test this on the 22nd of May and it's now May the 28th and I've worn this every single day. And I really feel like I have genuinely put this foundation to the test. I have worn this with primers, without primers. I have worn it with cream products, liquid products and powder products. I have used setting sprays and not setting sprays. I've set my face and not set my face. So I feel like I have a very informed opinion on this Il Makiage foundation now. These are just my findings from my skin type. If you've tried this foundation and it doesn't marry with what I think, it's totally fine. We are all different. We all have different experiences, preferences, needs and wants. So this is just how I feel. So I'm going to start by saying that I am very, very happy that I took the time to actually test this foundation out because I don't feel like my first impression was wholly accurate. So I think when I first tried this foundation, I was pretty happy with it. I thought it looked really, really good. I thought that the color match was really decent, and that takes us back to the quiz. The quiz aims to find you your absolute perfect foundation shade. Although I think that the foundation match was initially good, I think there has been problems along the way, and I'm not going to beat around the bush with you. This foundation is not for me. Unfortunately, it's just not the one for me. So let me tell you why I feel like this. I think it's important primarily to tell you what I like about this foundation. I think it comes really well packaged. It's a nice, lovely glass bottle. It feels luxurious. I think the packaging, the cardboard packaging that it came in was lovely. And I think in terms of the actual foundation, I think that the colour match was decent. I think that the foundation is very lightweight. It's not cakey. It's quite natural looking if you use a minimal amount. And I think that if you have more oily skin, I think you would enjoy this foundation because it definitely does mattify the skin for sure, and it definitely lasts well throughout the day. For me, however, that's where the positives do end. So first of all, and I think I alluded to this when I first tried it, I was looking at my face and I knew that it was a good colour match, but I had a suspicion that it was oxidizing. And although I didn't necessarily notice fully on the first day, I think I realized as the week went on that this foundation was oxidizing on me. So it doesn't turn me completely orange, but it's enough for me to be looking a different color to what I was when I actually put the foundation on. But I think it does make me look excessively yellow and sometimes a little bit patchy. And I think you can see that even today. I've had this foundation on for now 4 hours. I put it on at 6 a.m. this morning. And I do feel like it has oxidized. It makes me look like I've not done my makeup properly. That's what I would say. I don't think it's horrible oxidizing. I think it's marginal. I think it's ever so slight, but it's definitely there. So you might not be able to pick it up on camera, but it starts to settle into these lines here. And it also starts to settle in around my chin. I actually took a little video of my chin area and my mouth area, a really, really close up one. And I'll pop that on the screen now. But as you can see here, it's settling in around my chin, which is a problematic area for me. But it started to separate on my chin and just, it looks heavy. And I found that Even though this foundation claims to be buildable, if I build this foundation up, it just starts to look cakey, it starts to look heavy, and it does start to separate. And with this foundation, because it's matte, my face just looks very flat, very one-dimensional. And I was surprised because I tried a soft matte foundation recently, which was the Catrice, which is a lot cheaper than this one. And it's a soft matte, but I think that it looks absolutely beautiful on the skin. So it gives that soft matte finish, but your face still has dimension, you know, your luminosity still shines through, your base can still come through the foundation. I don't think that happens with this one, unfortunately. I just don't think it's very flattering, especially on my more mature skin. Now, I'm not old, I don't have, you know, super aged skin. But I can't help but feeling that this might not be flattering on people with more mature skin. So if you have lines, if you have texture, if you have areas of concern, I do feel like this foundation will emphasize that. And it was very surprising to me that it didn't feel more hydrating. This foundation claims to contain hyaluronic acid, which in itself is a very super hydrating ingredient. So I'm unsure as to why I'm not feeling that hydration. And like I said, I tried it with different bases and I just never felt like it was a skin loving foundation in my experience. The only way that I could wear this foundation and be happy with it was to absolutely douse myself in setting spray. I would use a setting spray that would melt my products together and help to soften the foundation a little bit. And although it's not heavy and although it's not super matte, it did dull my complexion. It didn't give me any dimension. It didn't give me any radiance. And now that I'm, you know, into my 40s, I need that. I need that a little bit more now. And genuinely, I don't think this is a bad foundation. I really don't. But are there drugstore foundations that are better? Yeah, I'm sorry, there really are. So the base price of this foundation was €49. And then on top of that, it was an extra nearly €5 for postage and packaging. As I said, the Catrice would be something that I would compare to this. Very, very similar claims, very similar ingredients. And I don't think that this performs as well as the Catrice. I just would not put this head and shoulders above any of my other foundations at all. It really isn't, in my opinion, worth the price tag. Will I be returning it? Nope, I will not. I will still continue to use it because I don't like waste, to be honest. And if I send that back, they're just going to bin it. So I just want to continue to use it and try and find ways to make it work. I think I would probably reach for it on those days where maybe I'm going to do something quite strenuous, which isn't very often, to be honest. I might reach for this because I know that it would keep my oils at bay. But other than that, I do think there are much better foundations out there. You don't need to be forking out 50 quid for a foundation that really is, in my opinion, quite basic. So there we go. That is my genuine experience of Il Makiage. So let me know, have you tried Il Makiage? What has been your experience? Have you loved it? Have you had a similar experience to me? Let people know down in the comments because it's super duper helpful. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. If you are new here, I would so appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.